You so could. But it doesn't have to work.
I know I can do the work, but that doesn't give me.
All right. So, example number 1. We only have 6 examples to get through. That way you guys have time to start working. So I need you quiet, paying attention. Okay. It says, find the value of A. Explain your reasoning. So, yes, that's an A. That's one of those fancy A's. It's one of those fancy A's.
Oh, you meant like that.
That kind of looks like a 2.
Yeah, that's how I do it too.
I used to draw my A's like that all the time because I thought it was fancy. And then I also gave like my eyes like these little tails because I thought it was cool.
How you write like
I'm a failure.
That's a.
All right. So what I mean by explain your reasoning, you need to tell me why you're doing what you're doing. Okay. So for instance, what kind of angles are these? Same side. Exterior. Good. Same side. They're both on the left of your transversal. Okay. So if you need to, label these. This is your transversal. This is parallel. This is parallel. Okay. So you know what lines are what.
If it was on the other side of that one, would it also be exterior because it's just one line that we can see?
Like if this was over here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
They would still be exterior, but they're alternate exterior then because you've got one on the left of your transversal, one on the right. So you're first going to compare them to your transversal. Here's your transversal. They're on one side, so that means same side. Then you're going to compare them to your parallel lines. Well, if I put my pen here, they're outside the parallel lines, which means that they're exterior. So you first need to tell me that these are same side exterior angles. You can short it as SS exterior.
Do we have to write complete sentences?
No. Okay. This is good enough. What I'm doing right here is good enough for what I need to see. Okay. Same side exterior. If they're same side exterior, that means they're what?
Equal to 180.
Equal to 180. Remember, same side begins with an S. Supplementary begins with an S. If they're supplementary, that means they're equal to 180. So when I go to solve this, what should my equation look like?
280 equals, nope.
254
equals 180.
Perfect. Okay, they're equal to 180, so that means I need to add them together and set them equal to 180. So now I need to solve for A. First step, subtract 54. So 2A equals 126. Divide both sides by 2. There's your answer. That's exactly what I need.
We explain our reasoning.
That's explaining your reasoning. They're same side exterior, so you know they're equal to 180.
I thought we were going to explain like step by step.
Wait, are you giving us time to do the question marks?
As soon as we're done with these, I'm passing out the quiz and you guys can get started. So some of them are going to be easy, just like this. Okay. Take a look at number 2. Find the values of X and Y, or I'm sorry, X and Z. Explain your reasoning. Okay.
Same side
This one was
exterior
easy.
and then the other one.
Okay. So Rebecca says, I want to solve for X first. So I want to solve for X first. And she said that X is same side. Here's your transversal. They're both on the left, so that's same side. And then she said, well, in terms of the parallel lines, they're outside, so they're exterior. So I'm doing same side exterior again, and they equal 180. So that means that 3x minus 15 plus 105 should equal 180. What's your first step in this equation?
No.
Combine your like terms first. You could. You could just move them both separately. So we end up with 3x plus 90
Yes.
equals 180.
And you get 90, 3x equals 90, and then divide. And
Woo, Rebecca's on a rampage here. Subtract 90. She said you get 3x equals 90.
then get 30.
Divide by 3. That means x equals 30. Okay, so that means I can now find the measure of this angle. Okay, so this angle is actually 3 times 30 minus 15. So what's 90 minus 15? 75. Okay, so now you know the measure of that left-hand angle.
So now it's
Or you could
So
just
then-
subtract it.
because it makes a straight line.
Okay, so this makes a straight line. So what do we call these angles?
So
Supplementary, or what else can I call them?
equal, same.
Begins with an L. What?
Linear.
Linear pair. These are a linear pair. I don't care if you just tell them they're supplementary, that's fine. Okay, but these are technically a linear pair. So now I have a linear pair. Let me scoot this over a little bit.
Couldn't you solve the other way too?
What way?
Like across?
Okay.
Like z plus 25 equals 105.
Okay. Rebecca also took this a step farther. 105 and z plus 25 are what type of angles?
Exterior.
Oh,
They're exterior.
Alternate exterior.
They're alternate exterior angles. So you could have also taken that way. They're alternate exterior, which means that they're equal to each other. So either way works. So do you want to do alternate exterior instead?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that then. Okay.
Oh,
So they're also a linear pair, but we can also put alternate exterior angles. And if they're alternate exterior, that means they're what? Equal to each other. So that means z plus 25 equals 105. Yes, for alternate ALT. I just shortened it.
you get 80.
Okay, so you subtracted 25 from both sides. And z equals, you said 80?
Yeah.
So here's x and here's z. Might end up with two variables in a problem, but they only want the answer for one of them. Normally in that case, you have to solve for the one that they don't want before you can solve for the one that they do. Okay. Last one at the bottom. Find the values of m and n and explain your reasoning. Okay, I've heard several people just say m plus 114 equals 180. So what's m and 114?
Same side.
Same side, exterior angles. So we've got same side exterior angles, which means that they're equal to 180. So that means m plus 114 should equal 180.
Subtract 114 from both sides.
So in other words, I really just needed to get to the geometry section because you guys are rocking this. I'm enjoying this.
You're not.
You really
Sure,
are.
the test scores go.
So what does m equal? 66. Okay, so there's m. What is n though?
And then you can do same side again. Right?
Yeah.
Can you do n 14 equals n plus 12?
Okay. Shelby said 114 equals n plus 12. How do you justify that?
Same side.
They're not same side.
Alternate.
They're alternate exterior angles. Okay, if I cover this up, 114's on one side n plus 12 is on the other side. So that means that they're alternate. And then in terms of your parallel line, they're outside, so they're exterior.
So if we do same side again, aren't they equal? Yeah.
So that means that they're equal. Okay, you could have also, just like the last one, they form a line. They're a linear pair now that you know what m equals. Okay,
Yes.
so either way works. If you did linear pair, that would be m plus n plus 12 equals 180. Okay, so in this sense, they're equal. So n plus 12 equals 114. So I'm going to do it both ways this time so you can see what I mean. We could then subtract 12 from both sides. So n equals 102. Whoever's music that is needs to be cut off now. Thank you. Okay, if we do this as a linear pair, that means that they're equal to 180. So that means m plus n plus 12 should equal 180. Let me move this up some so y'all can see what I'm doing here. Okay.
We already found what M was. She just showed us another.
I'm just showing you a different way to do this to find n. So now we know that m is 66. Combine like terms, that's going to give me 78. And then when you subtract 78 from both sides, you still get that n equals 102. Okay, so I don't care which way you do it. There's multiple ways to solve math problems. Okay, I'm not against you using your brain and doing whichever way works better for you. It's not about which way you do it. It's about how you get the answer. And as long as you can justify your reasoning, that's good enough for me. Isn't what exactly the same thing?
No, I'm sorry, I was speaking.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wait, what? Huh? Okay. Flip your page. Why is this so crooked? There we go. There we go. All right. Find the values of A and B. Okay. Find the values of A and B. Well, guess what? There's also an X in there. I first need to find X before I can do anything with A and B. So how do I find X?
X is inside the parallel line.
Okay. Inside the parallel lines.
Right.
These are same side interior angles. Just because this doesn't extend doesn't mean that it can't. So if you extend this.
Oh, I thought the other one was.
I thought the parallel lines was going up and down.
They are. But this is a parallelogram. So you've got parallel lines that go left and right.
I believe my
Say that part. All right, I don't want to do this.
Okay. So here's your transversal here. And here's your parallel lines. So in terms of the transversal, same side. In terms of the parallel lines, inside. So now I've got a set of same side interior angles. They're same side, which means they're what? Equal to 180. Anything that is same side is equal to 180. So that means X plus 120 should equal 180. That's fine. Just make sure you're on the right one. So what does X equal? 60. So now we know that that's there. Okay. You want to solve for A or for B first?
A.
Okay. Let's solve for A. What kind of angles do I have in terms of A?
Interior.
They're same side interior again. This now becomes my transversal.
What's my transversal?
Oh, I get it. In the other lines. Wait.
What's my
Those lines
transversal?
don't tell you.
This is a parallelogram.
Oh, it's equal. Oh.
Parallelogram, which means it's just a rectangle that's slanted, which means both sets of opposite sides are parallel. Okay, this is a parallelogram. You can't prove that it's a square. Hello? Can't prove that it's a square. What do you think a parallelogram is?
I know. You just said you can't prove it's a square, and that's literally said it's crooked.
Slightly squished square.
It can't be square.
It used to be
If
a
I've
square.
got,
He let himself go.
if I take a square
Just like you do.
and I
Shut up,
tilt
put
it,
in a box.
It's a rhombus.
this is a rhombus. It's a square tilted. If I take a rectangle and I tilt it, it's a parallelogram. No, it's not. A rhombus is a square that's
It's a long one.
it's a
And
long
technically,
one.
a rectangle is a square.
Okay, it's two squares.
Jeremiah.
It's not a square.
No, a rhombus is a crooked square. It's a crooked square.
Why do they have to have different names? Why couldn't it just be a square?
Yeah.
So, what this means with this one, listen, what this means when you've got something like this, I can use this as a transversal and these two as parallel lines. I can use this as a transversal and these two as parallel lines. I can use this as a transversal and these two parallel lines. Okay. In a parallelogram, both sets of lines are technically parallel. Okay. So this now becomes my transversal. This is what makes it hard.
No, I still don't understand what the transversal is. I'm not seeing the
I don't get all
transversal.
these.
A transversal is a line that crosses two parallel lines.
Yeah, I see the first. Well, where's the transversal? The second. So wait, okay, so those are the two, and
So-
then that's the, okay, I see what,
So if I would extend this picture out. Three A plus 40. This is X. This is 20. And this is 3B with minus 70. So technically here, I've got two sets of parallel lines. Okay, so these two can be parallel,
right.
and this is a line that crosses it, so that makes it a transversal.
With the bottom line.
This is also a transversal, because it still crosses both lines.
So it's two transversal.
Right. Or I can have this set of parallel lines, and this now becomes a transversal, and this becomes a transversal. So a transversal is just a line that cuts through two parallel lines.
And then that would be interior.
So that would be interior, they're inside these two parallel lines, and if this is my transversal, they're both on the left, which makes them same side.
All right.
You don't, you can't tell me about dinner right.
I'm in the middle.
You did it
Come
wrong.
on. Okay, so in terms of A,
Yeah, you did.
in terms of A, it's same side when it comes to this transversal, and it's inside when it comes to the parallel lines. So that means we have same side interior again, which means that they're equal to 180. So 3A plus 40 plus 60, my bad, equals 180. Oh my goodness, she's on a roll back there and she ain't but a. Okay, so Rebecca said then we combine like terms and we get 100. Okay,
Oh,
so we need to move 100 to the other side by subtracting. 3A then would equal 80. And when we divide by 3, yes, you're going to get a decimal.
What is it?
26.
Oh, you don't know that, but you want to.
26.6 repeating.
Shut up, you ain't know.
So that's A. Okay? I also need to solve for B.
So take the 26 and put it in.
I'm sorry.
Okay? You can either, one, do what Brandon just said, take the 26.6 and plug it into A.
If you want to. I mean,
If you want
or
to.
you can just take like the whole
Okay?
20.
Or
But you can
if I look at this angle and this angle, what are these? Alternate interior angles. So these are my parallel lines. They're on the inside. One's on the left of my transversal, one's on the right. So these are alternate interior, not exterior. Alternate interior angles, which means that they are equal. So 3B minus 70 equals 60. So 3B is 130, good. And when I divide by 3, B equals
something close to 40.
something close to 40.
43.3 repeating.
43.3 repeating.
See, I told you something close to 40.
Do we have to, like, we keep it as decimal at all times, right? Or do we just round it down?
Keep it as a decimal.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord.
Is this on the quiz?
Difficult ones? Sure, of course.
You know she's not gonna go with all the easy ones,
Right.
I'm just saying.
Look, because I equal smile on
Thanks,
too.
JC. Now you're
Why do you always have to do that?
I know.
No, it's just like, oh yeah, it'll be fine.
It'll be
She's like, oh,
fine.
yeah,
Right.
this is easy.
It'll be fine.
That's what they all say.
That's right.
She's like, this should be a little bit. Oh, yeah, today's
Okay.
easy.
Do you want to solve for J first or K first?
Today's an easy.
K.
K. All right. So we've got to do something with K. What do we know about K? Here's my parallel lines. Here's my transversal.
Alternate interior.
Alternate interior angles, which means that they are equal to each other. So 2K equals 102. So K equals 51. Excellent. Okay, there's K. Easy.
You make it look so easy.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Okay. I want to solve for J. What do I got? Same side, interior angles. These are same side. They're to the right of my transversal and inside my parallel lines. So these are now same side interior angles, which means that they're equal to 180.
5J plus 110.
Perfect. So 5J is equal to
110? Wait, where do we get the 110?
right here.
70.
Oh, whatever.
They're equal to 7.
That makes it like 14.
J
Yeah,
equals.
it's 14.
14. Yes.
We have also did 5J. But we have also 5J plus 1.
No. Because these are obvious numbers. That one kind of comes in. So you just have to be careful with that.
Cool.
All right. Last one. I need to find C. And I need to find D. Uh-oh. Here's my parallel lines.
All right, I'm done.
Here's my transversal.
Dropping out.
What do you want to solve for first? C, okay? So I've got a C here and a C here. What kind of angles are there? Alternate, okay? Here's my, hold on, stop.
That's the transversal.
Here's my transversal,
Right, got it right.
okay? There's my transversal. So in terms of my transversal, I've got 1C to the right, 1C to the left. So that means alternate. Okay.
Yeah.
Where else are they?
Alternate interior.
Alternate interior.
Yeah. Is it? Yeah.
So that means that they're equal. So that means that 2C minus 15 is equal to C plus 55.
We can do the same thing with
So that's C, right?
This ain't cool.
You can do the same thing with 2D and 60.
That was so much easier.
Okay. So when I solve for this, I have to subtract C. So I get C minus 15 equals 55. And add 15. So C is 70. And then to do D, Jeremiah said it's the same thing. They're alternate interior, which means that they're equal. So that's 2D equals 60, which means D equals 30.
Boom.
Boom. Dynamite. The struggle is real.
Watch